Moonletter Astrological Podcast.
New moon in Aries, partial solar eclipse, 29th of March, 2025. You'd expect a new moon coming straight after the spring equinox to be brimming with growth potential and grinning with optimism. Yes, basically it is that, but with a shed load of caveats to add interest. With Sun and Moon together in Aries, the energy is about beginnings. Everything that has been dormant is now burgeoning forth. Aries, as the first sign of the zodiac, is the pure, clear, innocent energy that acts on impulse. Nothing is hidden. It just needs to remember that there are other people in the room and that sometimes patience and compromise are necessary. Around the time of the new moon, there's an exact conjunction of retrograde Mercury about to move backwards into Pisces, and Neptune in the last degree, in fact the last minute of Pisces, about to move on into Aries. A planet in the last degree of a sign carries the legacy of that sign, and when it moves on into the next sign, it's like a reset of the energy. More so when it's in the last degree of Pisces, which carries the legacy of the previous 11 signs. The energy is pushing for a reset, but it's not time yet. We'll have to wait for Mercury to go direct and meet Neptune again in the first degree of Aries on the 17th of April. That's when things should clarify, and the chaos of general faffing about should ease. Fortunately, Saturn is in Pisces as well, close to the Moon's north node and Venus. Saturn acts as a restraining influence, and when it's in Pisces, it's compassion that acts as a point of reference to keep things real. Mars in Cancer, defensive and protective, makes an easy angle with Saturn, again helping to mitigate the worst of the mayhem. Full moon in Libra, 13th of April. Mars is making a tough angle to the Sun and Chiron, exactly conjunct in Aries, putting the male energy of Mars under considerable stress. When I say male energy, I'm talking primarily about the Martian qualities of action and decision, but also the cultural overlays of competitiveness and male identity. Mars is in Cancer, the sign of the crab, a deeply emotional sign that needs its tough outer shell to feel protected. Confronted with Chiron, the wounded healer, Mars's instinct is to wound or be wounded. But while the Sun is in Aries, urging us to action, the Moon is in Libra, asking us to be aware of all sides of the situation before we act. The Moon has got its work cut out at this time. As well as the business with Mars, and the direct hit from Chiron, presenting an opportunity for healing, there's a beneficial aspect from Jupiter in Gemini, opening a channel of rational communication, and a yod from Saturn in Pisces and Uranus in Taurus, focusing a quiet resourcefulness to deal with whatever comes up. Venus is now stationary, about to turn direct in Pisces to make a conjunction with Saturn, forming an easy angle with Mars to take some of the emotional heat and pressure off Mars, reminding us of our ancestral values and asking for compassion. But at the full moon, the balance point is in Capricorn, acting a bit like Moses coming down from the mountains with the rules carved in stone. I know I've been a bit unfair to Capricorn for the last few months, with Pluto having exposed its dark side over the last 16 years, typifying it as a monster of big business and intractable bureaucracy. But that's Capricorn at its worst. At its best, Capricorn represents the basis of our social life, the social contract that binds us to each other through the rule of law. Much as we enjoy the hygge of Cancer's sense of tribal belonging. Without Capricorn's insistence on rules and structure, life cannot go on. And if it feels a bit impersonal, that's because it is. And here at the full moon, Capricorn is the balance point in this tense setup, reminding us of the need to check the foundations and to be organized about things. Plus, by the time of the full moon, Mercury is out of its retrograde period, easing up communication and looking to make a conjunction with Neptune in the first sign of Aries around the time of Easter. Maybe not the best time for practical decisions, but some sort of resurrection would be nice.
And for more astrological and spiritual musings, check out moonletter.co.uk.